All right. So we're back on graphing. You should open up your packet to graphing if you have it. And if you don't, I have a couple extra copies here. So come up. Graphing, yes, this one. It should say Algebra 1 Academic Graphing Quadratics right on top. Hopefully, this is the correct one. All right. So here we're going to graph quadratics. Just as a reminder, the generic version of a quadratic is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. A is always in front of the x squared, b is in front of the x, and c is always the number by itself. No x. So in this case, a is 1, B is 0 because it doesn't exist at all, and C is 0. It doesn't exist at all. When we go for the axis of symmetry, use this formula. Negative B over 2A. So negative 0 over 2 times 1. We just worked it yesterday. So the axis of symmetry is 0, so x equals 0. Remember, because the axis of symmetry is 0, you also get the freebie of the x of the vertex. Yes. Yes, whatever in front of x to the second power. And since I don't see anything, that's an invisible one. Now b, I'm going to take 0 and plug it into my equation. So y equals 0 squared. Well, 0 squared, or 0 times 0, is still 0. So your vertex is 0, comma 0. Your y-intercept is your c value. In this case, it is 0. This is the very basic one, x squared. 0, comma 0. We'll see in the next one where it's different. So, when you make the vertex, yeah, it's always 0, comma blank. So, you can write 0. If you wrote just 0, you will get full credit. So, in the table, in the middle, you put the vertex, which is 0, 0 in this case. On the x values, you put 2 smaller and 2 bigger. Now, in this situation, I'm smart. I use a calculator. So I go to my calculator, press y equals, and then I'm going to press x to the second power. That's all I need. I'm going to graph. Gives me this U shape. That's cool. Let me just say 6 standard. That's cool. But I don't want the graph. I want the table. So I go to second graph and I get the table. And here are my information I need. Negative 2 is 4. Negative 1 is 1. 0, 0 matches what we found. So that's good news. 1, comma 1 and 2, comma 4. Perfect. And you know you're doing a good job because it's a mirror. It should always be mirrored like that. Y equals. Y equals, yeah, ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the generic one that applies to all these questions. So, negative 2, that's 2 left. Up 4, that's up 4. Negative 1, that's 1 left. Positive 1 is up 1. 0, 0. 1, 1. 2, 4. You should always get some sort of u value, or the shape is officially called the parabola. You could also call this why. I don't ask what you call it, so you could call it whatever you want. But the official name is parabola if you ever hear it later in math. Okay? No. All right, number 2. Same concept. And the reason I'm going fast is this is recorded, so you could go back and check it out later if you need to. Second concept, okay? Oh. So, in this one, it's x squared plus 4. That plus 4 is my c value because c values has no x. So this is a equals 1, b equals 0, c equals 4. My axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a. So it's going to be negative 0 over 2 times 1, Lucky for me, very simply, that's 0. So my axis of symmetry is 0. X equals 0, I guess you should say. Vertex, that'd be 0 comma something. Go ahead. So y equals 0 squared plus 4. So 0 plus 4 is 4. So your vertex is 0 comma 4. Your y-intercept is always the c value. It's always 0 comma blank. In this case, it's 0 comma c or 0 comma 4. Again, incidentally, they're the same. On the next one, it won't be. Yeah, you'd be fine. That would be correct. So 0, 4 is in the middle. 2 less, 2 more. And again, you would take time to plug in your calculator. I'm going to plug it in my calculator in my brain. All right. It's going to be 5, 5, 8, 8. If you plug it in the calculator, that's what you should get. Going to graph this out. -2, 8. -1, 5. 0, comma 4. 1, comma 5. 2, comma 8. A U shape, just a little bit higher this time. But otherwise, that's how you do it. No. It was in the original test. Why would it be in this test? I don't think I put ax squared plus bx plus c. Did I? No, because I remember talking about you had to know the axis of symmetry. I made that like a point. All right, this one's nice because now it's all mixed up. So in this case, number 3, my a value is 1, my b value is 4, and my c value is 3. So my axis of symmetry is not going to be 0 this time. It's negative b over 2a. So -4 over 2 times 1, which is -4 divided by 2, -2. So my axis of symmetry is -2, which means the x of my vertex is -2. Now to get the y, I have to plug it into the equation. So -2 squared plus 4 times -2 plus 3. 4 minus 8 plus 3. -4 plus 3 is -1. We need to do it so we could get the y value of the vertex. Now, you could check your answer by using the table graph and seeing -2, -1. But now you know this is the vertex. So that allows me to put it in the middle, -2, -1. Go 2 smaller, -3, -4. And 2 bigger, -1 and 0. Oh, I'm sorry, the y-intercept. The y-intercept is just your c value. So it's going to be 0, comma 3. If you wrote just 3, you would be correct. In a multiple choice, it probably will look like 0, comma 3. Okay, for this part, we're going to plug in for our y answers, okay? You go to your calculator, type it in, second graph, blah, blah, blah. You would get 0, 0, 3, 3. Now we're going to graph -4, that's going to the left, up 3, -3, 0, -2, -1, -1, 0, 3, comma, or 0, comma 3. Make your U shape. Sometimes it will look like a V. I'm not going to be crazy about it. Make sure you show your dots, okay? Um, Let me just see what these are. Number 4 is a lot alike. I just want to do number 5 because that's a unique one. So let's talk about number 5. Number 5, so that's on the next page. In this case, the A value is 1, the B value is -4, and the C value is 0. If I remember, a lot of people got that messed up or they were calling it the b value or the c value, they were swapping them. So make sure to remember, x squared holds the a value, normal x holds the b value, and c value is the number by itself. So we're going to still do the same steps, negative b over 2a. So negative 4 over 2 times 1. Double negative makes it positive, so 4 over 2, which makes it 2. So my axis of symmetry is 2. Or 2a. Now we're going to do the vertex, which is 2 comma something. So I'm going to take the 2 and plug it in here. 2 squared minus 4 times 2. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. So the y of my vertex is negative 4. The y-intercept is my c value, which happens to be 0. So it's 0 comma whatever my c value is, which in this case also is 0. So 2 comma negative 4 in the middle, 2 smaller, 1 and 0, and 2 bigger, 3 and 4. Type in your calculator, y equals, second graph, you'll end up getting negative 3, 0, 0. And then let's just draw it out. 0, 0, 1, negative 3, 2 comma for negative 4, 3 comma negative 3, 4, 0. You know you're doing a good job if it looks like a U, if it looks like a W, or V is okay. But if it looks like not a U, you made a mistake. All right. We got over graphing. You could use the other two examples. Let's go to the next thing on your packet, which should be, is it this one? Stats? Oh, we go to chapter 10? Yeah, we skipped chapter 9. Sorry. All right. Give the mean, median, mode of the data. So, yes. So the mean, well, for the mean, let's do one at a time. The mean is when you take the average. So that means I'm going to add everything and divide by the number of things. Okay? So I got to take a calculator, add this stuff. Put this to the side, pull out my calculator. So let's do 55 plus 42 plus 51 plus 66 plus 88 plus 102 plus 86 plus 55 plus 100. Is that it? All right. So then we're going to press enter. That's 645. Divided by how many numbers there are, which in this case is 9. So we got 71.66. I'm going to round properly. So 71.7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, those are 9 numbers. All right. The next part, we're going to get the median. 6 rounds up to 7. You could write 66. And the multiple choice will be 71.7. I'll tell you that. Oh, the median? Let's see. Okay. So I got to put it in order. So I don't like crossing them out. Oh, first, this is you put order, then you find the middle. So 42, I see 51, 55, 55, 66, 86, 88. Good. Before we do that, the median, I just want to do it for the video. So in the middle, we're going to find the middle by just going from the outside in. These are the most outside. Now these are the most outside. Now these are the most outside. Now these are the most outside, which means I only have one thing in the middle, which is 66. And then the last part, we want the mode. The mode is what most happens. So what number happens the most? Yeah, 55 happens the most, so it's 55. Reminder, mode is the only one of these three that can have no mode. There's nothing that happens more than anybody else, or multiple modes. If I had like two 55s and two 88s, it'll be 55 and 88. If there's two medians, you add and divide by two. If you have two medians, if two middle. If you have two middles, you add them and then divide by two. Good question. Okay, let's go back here. Use the following statement. Shimon, who runs the Cobra Cafe, wants to know people's favorite food. On Thursday, when he's serving Chinese food, he interviews random people who went to the Cobra Cafe. The population is the people he wants to learn. So you could say RKYHS students. You could say customers. You could say students. What you shouldn't say, he's not trying to learn about America. He's not trying to learn about everybody. He's not trying to learn about people in general. He's learning about a specific group of people. So students, customers, whatever. Probably customers would be the most best answer, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Is the sampling bias? In this one, it is biased. So, yes. And the reason is because it's on Thursday where they serve the Chinese food on the Chinese food day. No, remember, a lot of this is multiple choice. When I grade these, I just look if you mention Chinese or Thursday or something like that. I'm just looking for a keyword. So, yes, because of the Chinese food means what it actually causes is they're more likely to say their favorite food is Chinese. Yeah. All right. Hmm? I just said it out loud, but Chinese food, it means that, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you're asking only people on Thursday, more likely than not, they're going to say Chinese food than not. Are we okay? What's up this side? The spider? Yeah, leave him be. You want to name him? Charles? Gerald? What's in between Gerald and Jared? No, not Shocker. Yeah, I remember Shocker. Shocker Jr. He's inside. Jeremiah! No, Jeremy. There you go. Jeremy the spider. All right. Local politician, Jeremy the Spider. Local politician wants to know the town wants a new playground. Um, so what's the population the local politician is trying to learn about? You eat. Yes, you could say the town, these townspeople. The word for the people who his constituents. Again, I don't care how you use it, but he's not trying to learn about all of America. Okay, so whatever people in town. All right, second question. He goes to daycare and asks parents if they would like a new playground. This could potentially be bias. And the reason it could be potentially biased because he's asking people at a daycare. People at a daycare have children. Yeah, they benefit from it. So if you ask an old person who's not going to benefit from it, hey, can I use some of the tax money for a playground? They might say no. If I only ask old people, that's why I got to ask all types of people. That's why it's very important to be random with who you task. Exactly. And that would be stratified. All right. Next one. One of this tends to be people's favorite part. This like puzzle thing right here. Oh, I gotta say hello to her. Swing by. Listen. All right. Here we go. This one. Um, Gender. Oh, okay. This is the type of thing. These are the genders below. We gotta fill out this table. Since we know 99 females answered the thing, and we know 56 said iPad, that means people who said computer should be 99 minus 56. I'll do that first. This one, if there's 99 and there's 200 in total, this should be 101. In this case, 99 minus 56 should be 43. In this case, 56 out of 113. There's actually two ways you could do it. I could do 113 minus 56, or I could do 101 minus 44. So 67. Great job. Wait, it's 57. So this is the answers to the survey. Pretty close, I guess. Oh, I erased my one. Oopsies. There you go. All right. What is the favorite type of device for a female according to the table? In this case, more females said iPads. So iPad or tablet. What's the total amount of people they ask? The total is always on the bottom right. So that's going to be 200. Was there more females or males asked on the survey? There's 101 males. There's 99 females. So males. That's who they found. It might have been random. You don't know. It's not discrimination. There is a number where it becomes discrimination, but we're not learning that. I don't think you ever learned that in normal high school. Maybe in stats you learn it. You might learn it in AP stats if you ever take it. All right. This is data representing the weights of their 13 dogs. So, how many people they ask? You could read it here or you could count. Either way, it should be 13. What's the mean of the data? Again, to find the mean, you have to add them up. To read this data, this 1 goes with the 6, and this makes it 16 plus 19 plus 22, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to. No, the mean, not the median. Yep. So 16 plus 19 plus 22 plus 24 plus 25 plus 29 plus 30 plus 30 plus 33 plus 37 plus 38 plus 42 plus 45 divided by 13. It is 30. It was end up being 390 divided by 13, which is 30. And then what's the range? Now the range is biggest number minus the smallest number. So 45 minus 16, which is going to be 29. Wait a second. Do you have a chart right? Oh, because I drew with ink. Okay, because I had to clear the ink to do this. I don't have a little table here. Oh wait, no, I don't. I can use this numbers. Never mind. So we're going to use this. Yeah, but we're going to do the graph using these numbers. Yeah. All right. So this one, we're going to say, when we say frequency, that just means how often something happens. So there's 2 dogs between 10 and 19. There are 4 dogs in the 20s. There's 5 dogs in the 30s. And again, there's 2 dogs in the 40s. So with that table, what I can do is I can make a histogram. Perfect. It's very like a bar graph. There's just a couple of points that you make sure you have to do. First off, in a bar graph, it's usually like one category, right? How many books you read or something like that. In this case, it's always a range of data. So this is from the 10 to 19s, or this is how we did it. We did here's 10, here's 20, here's 30, here's 40, and here's 50. So in between the gap is from 10 to 20. Between 20 and 30 is anything between 20 and 30. And then here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we make our bars. In this case, this should be 2 high. Next one should be 4 high. Next one should be 5 high. They're yelling outside, or am I crazy? Okay. And then next one should be 2 high. And then there's your histogram. All right. No problem. Pay attention then. All right. In a box and Whistler plot, there are 5 important points. First, the end parts. This is the minimum, and this is the maximum. In this case over here, this is what we call the lower quartile. Over here is the upper quartile. Think, I don't know if we talked about the 25%, 75%, but just know it's lower and upper. And then in the middle, or not in the middle, but this line inside the box is going to be the median. So, what's the most amount of time in range this month? That would apply to the maximum. So that's 10 in a month, not this month. What's the interquartile range? So the interquartile range is the range of the quartiles. 8 would be the range in general. So in this case, it's 7 minus 3, which is 4. 4 should have been the answer. So remember, interquartile ranges uses the quartiles. Makes sense. All right. And then we're going to use said data or a different set of data to make a box and Whistler plot. So first thing you got to do is put it in order. 8, 14. There's another 14. We got to get both. Like 4 15s. 1, 2, 3. You're right. Is there 4? Oh, you're right. This one, 15. 2 16s. 17, 1 18. It's nice because as you go forward, it just gets easier, right? Because they're all marked. All right. So we're going to have to find the middle. So another way to find the middle instead of counting the edges, maybe this will help you, is you count how many numbers you have in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in 12, you could have cut 12 in half. What's 12 cut in half? 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your middle, because it's even, is these two numbers, 15 and 15. Because I have two numbers, you're supposed to add them and divide by 2. But they're the same number. So the median is just 15. Hmm. In the multiple choice, probably I'll tell you, in the open ended. So you could probably go back to the multiple choice and then check your work on that. No, I don't tell you how to do it. Yeah. Have the box so I know. I could put that. I'll put that. With like all the pieces separately as their own column. And then you make the thing. Okay, I could do that. Yeah. Sure. All right. In this one, 8, 14, 14, 15, 15. I need the middle of this thing. The middle of this thing happens to be 14. And then I need the middle of the top half. That's my upper quartile. The middle of the upper quartile is 17. You don't count the two 15s you use for the middle. Then you need your max and your min, which is pretty easy to see. It's going to be 8 and 21. Since I know the 5 numbers that matter, I'm going to put the dots for the 5 numbers that not matter. There's going to be a dot at 8. There's going to be a dot at 14. There's going to be a dot at 15. There's going to be a dot at 17. 8 is the smallest number, and that's one of the 5 numbers. And there's a dot at 21. Usually I put it above the line. You could put it on the line if you really. And then the final part, make your whisker box. Oh, it's a horrible box. Box whisker. There you go. If you want to make yourself easy, you could also write the numbers on top so you could track yourself. but 21. It should be 21. Is that it? I don't think it has the last test, which should be the. No, does that not? This was the last test, right? What's the thing? Probability? That will show up on the final. I'll make a little quick video for that part. Okay. Hey, we did it. Good timing.